Testing one, two, testing. What's going on, guys? Johnny Trades back with another weekly stock talk. As you all know, the markets were closed today on Monday due to President's Day. And so we did not host our Sunday stock talk last night, but we will be hosting it tonight. So welcome. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time watching, consider subscribing and smashing that like button if you guys see value in the content that we are providing here. We're going to go over a couple of stocks that I am interested in, and we're going to go over a couple of stock picks that some of you, as the subscribers, pick for us to go over. So you are encouraged to join our live stream and our live chat. Go ahead and post your questions, comments, any other ticker symbols that you guys would like me to take a look at. Go ahead and do that for me now. We're going to share our link to our community members, so give me just a second here. And we're going to go over the top 5 stocks for this week moving forward. It's going to be a very short week. Obviously, we don't have 5 trading days. We only have 4 this week. So, that is okay. And yeah, market just opened. It is February 16th, 2026. Market opened about 6 minutes ago for the overnight trading hours. And what I wanted to do is showcase the movement and everything going on here today. All right, so it looks like our links are being shared. Looks like markets are up to 601.95. So the big question everyone is asking is, are we going to see more upward momentum, or are we going to begin to see more downside and selling pressure? That is what is on everyone's mind today. Hopefully this live stream will give you a little bit more understanding of the market direction overall. So right now it looks like we have a nice little gap up from lows of 640 when it closed on Friday to where it is now at 602, which is not too bad. Looks like our links are shared so people can now join. All right, perfect. People are now tuning in. Again, you are encouraged to share. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? What's up? What's up? First off, let me know, where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you guys watching from? We have a lot of new community members in our Learn to Earn team and in our Discord. We just pulled in another, I think, 50 new members in our Investing for Beginners community. So we have a lot of people joining and wanting to learn more about the stock market. So I hope that I can be a catalyst to your success. And if you want to watch me trade as soon as tomorrow morning, all you have to do is join our Discord. First link in the description. It's 100% free right now, lifetime access. So we're going to go ahead and bring this level 2 order book data down, as we only use that when we were actively trading. Currently, some of our swing trades are up about 12 bucks, so not too bad today. Overall market itself down, touching 596 on Friday. So this is very interesting to see. If we break below this 590, 750, we could see some more downward potential. Markets are currently sitting at 602. Again, we need to see some either breakout action above 606, or this needs a break below 596. So I have my alert set for the overall QQ market. Now, when looking at the 30-minute time frame, this did get as low as 587 last week and as high as 617. As you can see here, it tried 1, 2, 3, even 4 times to push above 617, and it just could not. A lot of resistance at that level, selling off on Thursday and kind of flatlining on Friday last week. So I'd love to see any type of action happen with this company moving forward. Maybe we can see some new highs. Maybe this will begin to sell off. But really, the last few, even the last couple of months since October of last year, it's just kind of been trading in this weird little horizontal pattern here. So not a lot really happening for the overall market. Of course, that has a lot to do with the tech companies being overvalued. A lot of these companies reporting decent earnings, but for some reason, them missing just one little specific number, or them, beating revenue but missing earnings, resulted in a lot of these companies beginning to sell off. So Bitcoin as well, not really doing much on a larger time frame. It just seems to just kind of be hovering around 78,900, and that's okay. We had somewhat of a downtrend there for a few days, and now just kind of flatlining again. We have some resistance levels that it needs to break through in order to see Bitcoin push up to new highs. And if it doesn't and it gets rejected, we can see this potentially retest 65, maybe even $60,000. So MSTR currently at 133.80 in the overnight hours, so it's really not doing much there. A huge push up on Friday for anyone who got into MSTR or MSTU, stuff like that. I'm looking to possibly short MSTR by trading MSTZ. It looks like it's at a nice low level. I wouldn't mind buying a few shares at this level, as long as Bitcoin starts showcasing signs of more selling pressure. If this thing is just going to rally, then there's no point in getting into MSTR at this time. So remember, you guys can share your ticker symbol with me in the live day trading session or the live chat. And if you're having trouble figuring out how to do the live chat, you just have to subscribe to the channel and you will be able to live chat in here. Okay, so I want you guys to be aware of that. It's free. I do want to remind you, it is free to subscribe. You could always unsubscribe from the channel if you see fit. So a couple of companies that I am curious and interested on would be SoundHound AI. Catching a bounce at $6.91 and pushing up to $9 was a significant move for SoundHound. Pushed up 28% or $2 per share. Now it's kind of slowly selling off back to this area. It found some support around 750, and I would love to see this begin to push back up. Doesn't mean it has to, but the risk to reward on SoundHound AI seems to be a little bit more along with maybe my criteria in a way. Buying at around 750, risking about, not even really risking, but around 7% to that support level, and then with a price target of around almost just shy of 20%. That's almost a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now I could always come back down a little bit more. Maybe we're buying it at 720, maybe we're buying it at 7. The lower the risk, the better. I'd love to get a little closer to that $7 mark, 6.90 mark, to be able to see this really fly up and actually benefit from this little trade plan here. But SoundHound is definitely something that I've been eyeballing for quite some time, as it has been selling off, right? We even tried to trade it within this horizontal pattern, buying at 1080, 11, selling at around 13, resulted in, a decent $1.50 to $2 in profit. So another company, this was actually something I did for our last video I made on, actually, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, on the 2 patterns I love to trade. So this kind of has to deal with that. Go back and watch that video, which will give you a little bit better of an explanation on what all those drawings are. American Airlines. Now this is something that I've been watching for a little while. I love buying the lows, buying at $8, $9, $10, and then riding that wave up as it begins to push up. Just recently, this pushed up 91%. Okay, buying in, of course, August of last year and selling in December would have resulted in a very nice profit, around 92% per share. Now it's sold all the way off back to $8.50, and now it's beginning its descent up. So wouldn't necessarily buy into American Airlines right now, but buying it down at $8.50 and selling around 16, another 78% profit. So I am looking at this hopefully come down a little bit more, so we could buy some American Airlines for a fair value around $9, $10, maybe even $11, for that nice increase up to $18. SoFi, it is coming up to a level of previous resistance, right? So this green line used to be a red line. There used to be resistance right around $18.50. Obviously, there was some resistance right there before the breakout above to $32, and it is getting close. It is getting close to that resistance level. Now, I'd love to see this act as a support because remember, previous resistance levels can then become support levels. And as we've seen here, it did bounce off that 1850 previously. It was like last week sometime. It bounced off at 1850 for SoFi, pushed all the way up to $22 and got rejected, coming all the way back down to $19 flat. So I believe this was a great little area for entry between 1850 and $19 if you were able to get in at these levels. Now it seems to be pushing up overnight slightly. It's at 1998 right now. I'd love to see this bounce back up, hopefully breaking through this moving average here. And if it breaks through this moving average at $20, you know, obviously to the moving average, it's only about 2 to 3%. If it could break it and go up to $22, that is a 10% profit on a very small trade when you look at the bigger picture of things. This company can potentially go back up to $32 when it's ready, creating almost a 64 to 65% profit. Okay, guys, I want you guys to be aware of that. Now, it doesn't have to happen, but it definitely could. And it could also sell off some more as well. So this is definitely one of those companies you want to be very picky with, very careful with when it comes to trading it. Okay, make sure that you manage your risk. Make sure that you are not going in with all 100% of your account size. Okay, I want you guys to be aware of that. Netflix also seeming to break through that $80 support level, now coming up on, you know, potentially $70, $69, $70 for Netflix. Again, a solid company, but it just has a descending pattern, so nothing really crazy happening here, just continuing to sell off. Now, I'd love to see this begin to push up higher, as it looks like it is trying to. Looks like it just now got rejected off of this level on that you know, what was that, the 1 hour time frame. So we'll see what happens with Netflix moving forward. And then kind of last but not least, guys, these are the ones that I've been watching: Sound, American Airlines, SoFi, Netflix, and Hood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 for me, and I'd love to go over some that you guys might be interested in as well. Just simply comment in the live chat. Now, Hood, almost a double bottom here at 68.67. It looks like it touched right around $70 more previously. Yep, $70 here, flatlining and beginning to push up. I'd love to see Hood push up even higher than this. Obviously, I would say that this is a pretty decent area for Hood, right? As you can see here, when we look back, there was some previous resistance, so this was a resistance level. It had some consolidation before a nice breakout to 153, coming all the way back down to $70 for a nice retest. Now, it is below the moving average. We are seeing that that 45 EMA is crossing over that 200-day moving average, but we could see this begin to push up. I did watch its live earnings call. I watched how the CEO Vlad and his other partner were talking about some of the new features that Robinhood is going to have moving forward. They seem to be putting a lot of effort and a lot of care into expanding Robinhood markets into many other markets, not just America, but other countries, expanding its international portfolio, expanding a lot of the features and the ease of access that people will have to get into Hood. Also, it created the predictions market, and predictions market isn't going anywhere. It just ended for this season, right? Football's over. They were predicting a lot of stuff like that with football. They have a lot of prediction markets for sports in general, for fight nights when there are certain UFC fights or anything like that. Prediction markets on a lot of different things moving forward, as well as a few other things you guys might not be aware of. They have this like family investing kind of swing on things that they're trying to get involved, where more people that invest and use Robinhood, the more benefits you get. So I'm excited to see what happens with that when they roll that out as well. And of course, crypto. We're seeing a huge decline because of the crypto markets. Crypto markets are selling off, so Hood is definitely selling off with it. But with that said, it doesn't mean that Hood can pivot. I did watch their live earnings stream, and they talked about how, crypto is only, 10 or 20% of its overall revenue. So people are getting scared and freaking out about Hood long term, when in reality, crypto is a very small part of their business model. So I'm very excited to see Hood begin to push up. It has strong revenue. It has strong EPS. It is a profitable business. There in the past, it wasn't profitable. Now it is. And I could see a nice 32% upside, even back up to $101 to retest this, as long as we could break this 45 EMA. Okay. Now, when it does break that 45 EMA, we can see upsides of even 106%, potentially 100%, almost doubling your money. Again, all of these are very risky, so we want to make sure that we're doing our part. We're not over leveraging ourselves. We're not putting more money in that we're not willing to lose. But I am actually averaging down into this position. I'd love to buy a little bit more down at $70, 75, even $80, because I bought some down at $100. I bought some at $90. I bought some at $80, and I don't mind averaging into a company that I see value in long term. It doesn't mean that this is going to go up, 20 or 30% tomorrow, but it does mean that there is potential for this to rebound and recover over time. So Disney also, to that point where, we talked about this, where it's at $105, buying the dip at 101 and letting it push up to, 116. Very nice 15% profit. We're talking $15 to $16 per share on Disney, which would just be incredible. It has a very nice horizontal pattern. I don't see Disney going anywhere anytime soon. And it had that double bottom bounce where, people have already made money, right? Buying at 101, pushing up to 105. That's a nice 4% profit per share on Disney. All right, let's go back to the 4-hour. Oracle bouncing off of 132. Nvidia, a lot of resistance around 192. But then if you look at this, there's actually a lot of support around 170. So you see that kind of horizontal pattern forming here between 170 and 190. Buying those lows, selling those highs, and that's what it's all about, guys. Amazon kind of in that buy range still, technically, between 196 and 200. Not bad for Amazon. Again, a lot of potential for Amazon to push up from these levels, back up to previous highs of 245, potentially seeing a nice 23% return on Amazon. Apple also selling off pretty dramatically, actually, on Thursday. Huge sell-off for Apple itself. AMD trying to hold above that $200 price point. AVGO slightly selling off. Google in the red as well. A lot of these companies are actually kind of between red and green tonight. Microsoft back down to $400 and Meta down to $640. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin not doing much. I'm going to watch Bitcoin throughout the night. Now that I am able to trade, I may get into an MSTZ position, which would be great for us if Bitcoin begins to sell off even more. Now, if this begins to push up, I'll wait for it to peak, and we will buy the peak and short this as we did on last week, right? I think we did it on Thursday. We did it on Friday. We waited for this to spike up, and we actually were able to trade this as it sold off, creating a nice area of gains, right? So we saw that on Thursday, pushing from 13 to 15, $2 per share on Thursday, or on Wednesday, and then on Thursday pushing up from 14.30ish to 16, another $2, $2.50 on Thursday, and then basically it sold off on Friday. So I am looking for some re-entry on MSTZ if Bitcoin begins to sell off, I wouldn't mind trading that, buying a couple hundred shares, 100, 200 shares, and being able to benefit when this does push back up, maybe $3, even $4 per share, resulting in a pretty decent amount of money for our MSTZ position. And for everyone who's been watching, who follows along on these morning live day trading sessions, or anyone who's a member of our LTE team, will tell you that I have been trading MSTZ and taking money out of the market literally every day since like December 5th, something like that. So for like 3 months, we've actually been pulling money out of the market by shorting MSTR, which is a BS company. They don't do anything. They don't own anything. They don't sell a service. They don't sell any products. They literally just hold Bitcoin. And then what they do is they borrow money against their shareholders at zero interest, diluting the shareholders' shares to buy more Bitcoin. So it just sounds like kind of like a big Ponzi scheme to me, to be honest, for MSTR. And yeah, I mean, this thing could technically pay off eventually, but I don't think it will anytime soon. Even if Bitcoin pushed all the way back up to 125,000, these people bag holding MSTR uh, aren't going to get back up to those highs where they once were for MSTR. MSTR again uh, sold off significantly from $457 all the way down to $100, over 77%. Okay, and we're not talking in years, we're talking about 205 days. Okay, so a little bit more than a half a year. July of last year it peaked to 457, and it's been selling off since July of last year, guys. So very unfortunate for anyone buying up at those levels. I'd love to see MSTR sell off though. It looks like it is beginning to show signs of some consolidation here. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. This was at one point getting to highs of 170. We'd wait for this to get up to 170 and then we'd short it. And right now it looks like it can't even get above 150 or even 140 at that matter. But again, anything could happen if Bitcoin begins to push up just slightly. If the overall NASDAQ market tries to push up even slightly, then you can see MSTR begin to push up, slightly as well. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. Looks like we're getting some rejection now, moving into the overnight hours. It looks like it gapped up to 602 and beginning to curl over. So yeah, I would not mind buying a little bit of MSTZ at these levels. 1280, let's see. Bitcoin beginning to curl over slightly. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and buy a few shares. You can go to limit order. Let's go 20 shares at this level at 1286. Yeah. Let's go ahead and buy a few of these shares right here. Wait, what? Limit order. Oh, include overnight trading. Well, overnight trading excluded. Okay, well, we'll wait till pre-market and see what happens for pre-market. All right, so if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'd love to be a part of your success. I'd love to answer any questions that you might have. If not, then we will let you get back with your family and friends or spend time, preparing for tomorrow as well. I was gonna make a video earlier today, but I wasn't sure how many people would actually, watch it, as it is a Monday. A lot of people are back to work. As many of you know, I don't work, so just trying to find that right schedule for YouTube and all of our members. We go live every morning at market open. I'd like to do a recap video during, like midday, afternoon. And then if you guys want me to start doing some live streams at night, just to kind of get involved a little bit more, talk to me on a one-on-one basis, kind of stuff like that, then I could, definitely consider that as well. I feel like the more I put into YouTube, the less I kind of get out of it. So I don't know. I'm trying to find that balance, right? One video a week wasn't working. One video every other day wasn't working. So I'm at least trying to do a video every single day. I could do multiple videos a day, 2, 3, 4 videos a day, but then I don't want, it to get too saturated to where you're not even sure what to watch anymore. But let me know if there's any video topics, any ideas you want me to take a look at. I definitely can. Currently up about $14 or a half a percent point right now. Our account is currently sitting at, I want to say like 2,800. It's at a pretty decent amount now. So we are slowly growing the account. Remember, we started this small account challenge January 1st with $2,000. The year before, we started with $500 and grew it to over $6,000 in a year. So it was nice to have that extra money to supplement some other things, to pull some out, to use for other investments, etc. But now we're going a little bit more. We're sitting at $2,805. So that is where we're currently at right now on the account. We're just getting ready to cross over $3,000, and it's only been a month, a month and 2 weeks. So maybe like 6 weeks of growing this account, locking in profits, and really trying to push the limits on what we can do for a small account. And after this year, we may no longer do small account challenges. We may just continue to grow this account, or at least get to a comfortable enough level, say, $10,000, and then pushing it from there, getting to $25,000, which would be over that PDT rule, and then being able to have unlimited day trade. So that's really the ultimate goal here. As long as I'm comfortable with trading that much, that is something that we're working toward. And having $25,000 is obviously a blessing to be able to trade with. And of course, with, you know, that much money, not only comes great opportunity, but great responsibility as well, as we need to learn and continue to grow our potential on managing risk, to grow our understanding of when to lock in profits and when to cut our losses. So overall, we are slowly, steadily growing this account. I believe we can hit that goal probably by maybe, I'm gonna say like July. At the point that we're going, we could probably hit like 10K by July, maybe even 25,000 by the end of the year. That is the goal and the plan for this small account challenge this year. Um, so we'll see what happens, guys. I'm very excited to share my journey with you, and that's exactly what it is. It's not financial advice. This is just me sharing what I have found success in the market doing. Not only are we day trading, but we're also swing trading, and we are dividend investing as well. So currently we're making about, I think it's like $10 to $12 a month right now in monthly dividends, which will only contribute and add more to the account as well. So over time, of course, we are hoping to make more in dividends, more in daily profits, more in profits with swing trading. And overall, I want to be a catalyst to your success as well. So if you have any questions, any comments, you guys want to connect with me on a more one-on-one basis, there's only one team that I work with, and it's our Learn to Earn team. First link in the description. It's 100% free lifetime access for right now. But there are less and less spots every single day. Now we're at about 250 spots available. Before you know it, by next month, there'll be less than 200. Probably by March or April, we'll have less than 100 spots available. And then before you know it, you will actually have to pay a small price to get in and become an LTE member. You get to watch these live day trading sessions every single morning at market open. So I strongly encourage you guys to show up tomorrow, kind of get a feel for my style of trading, how I enter and exit positions, and start understanding my mindset behind each and every trade I take live for you guys to be able to learn and begin educating yourself if this is even something you want to do. Trading isn't for everyone, but if you're interested in it, then definitely consider joining our LTE team. All right, guys. Well, it doesn't look like we have any members that want to share any of their stocks with us. So that is where I will end the live stream. I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. Looks like we've been live for 30 minutes exactly. And that is where I'll end the live stream. Looking forward to trading with you all live in the morning at market open. So whatever time the market opens in your area, you can guarantee I will be live trading. You could show up, ask questions, watch me trade live, and just simply hang out while maybe you're, doing something else. Or you can follow along and we can trade together. So thank you for your time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And remember, let's end the year on a green note. Later, guys.